Excellent job. Welcome everyone to a brand new edition of the Staten Island Soccer Report, coming to you live tonight from the studios at CTV. Alongside me tonight, John Lee Antonio. Welcome back, John.
Thank you for having me.
On the other side of the glass, we got Kenny tonight helping us out. Thank you, Kenny. Without him, we got no show. Thank you to everyone at CTV. John, that performance by this young Bades fan there, it's unbelievable.
It was really great.
I mean, you see, I guess the passion, you could see it, right? As he's singing the song, it's great. Love to see more of that. I wish my daughter would sing.
I saw something on YouTube last week of the same on the song with Body in the state where it's full stadium all chanting it at the same time.
It's great. Yeah, I feel the passion from way over here, over the pond. All right, so we got a couple, I guess a few things to talk about, but we'll start off with you and I both coach in the Staten Island Soccer Club, and a shout out to them. Great job that they do. We'll start off with your boys team. All right, so we had some dramatic yesterday, and we'll wait on that. So we'll start off on your past season with the boys.
So my boys team went into EDP this year, which is a higher level,
Right.
and they did pretty good. They went 500. So we won some, big games. We also lost 3 games, 1-0. So obviously, because the level's so strong, those games could have went either way. So we had a pretty good season, winning 5 games.
Yeah.
And season's over now, but 12 kids graduated, so there'll be 8 kids left on the team for next year. So 12 kids going on to college, and a lot of them are going to be playing in college next year. So,
Okay.
And they were with me for a long time, so it was emotional at the end when
Right.
the season ended.
And you built the foundation there, right? So, that's great. Hopefully we'll see a couple of them, in the pros.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not in this league, right? We want to overseas, right?
Yeah.
That's where you make the big bucks.
But, they worked hard from the winter till now, practicing 2-3 times a
Right.
week. And I had kids from Tottenville, Farrell, Curtis, and obviously St. Peter's.
Right.
And kid from CSI. So we were spread out throughout all the high schools in Staten Island, and, they did a great job representing.
This is the travel team we're talking about. You also coach for St. Peter's.
St. Peter's.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we had a season this year with everything with COVID. We had to follow so many different protocols,
Right.
taking temperatures before every game and answering all the questions before the game. We filled up a binder.
Yeah.
Probably took about 45 minutes before
So
every practice.
did you have like a parent doing the temperatures and stuff? Somebody?
Me and my coaches did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coaches, yeah.
But I have a parent that tapes all my games for me, and
Right.
we send them off to colleges and do that. We do everything we can for the kids to make sure that,
That's great. Filming the games, and I wish we would get more of that. We had a parent that did that, but his daughter's not playing, so we lost that. That's great. You put them on YouTube, right?
Yeah. All my Peters games and all my travel games were all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So when I came home at night, I watched it over again.
That's great. And you could, I know you'll learn something from it. The players, who knows if they're going to watch the whole game.
Yeah, well, most of my players watched it 2 or 3 times, especially if there was a bad call in the game.
Right.
They would watch it over and over again to see if it was really a penalty or not, and then we would talk about it at the next practice. So, no, my boy, I watched every game at least twice.
Right.
When I get home at night, I was looking forward to seeing it again, and the kids would watch it over and over again.
Okay.
So they'd have it on their phone, they'd watch it on
That's
at
great.
home
Yeah,
on
it's great.
television. So, but
All
they
right.
had a pretty good season. My
Peters?
travel team and my Peters
Right.
Peters team, we lost in the quarterfinals. But again, like I said, at the time, a couple of teams opted out.
Right. Yeah.
We couldn't play the public school wasn't playing at the time, so
Right.
we only played the Catholic schedule.
Right.
And a couple of the Catholic teams opted out also. So, you know what, we did a great job at St. Peter's and at Farrell and at C
Right.
and more to
Just to
you know,
get a
our
season.
season in.
Right. Just to
Some
get
of the teams in the Bronx opted out.
And we all know kids needed to get out there and get back to
Yeah.
some kind of normalcy,
Yeah.
right? Okay, any chance of your St. Peter's playing the travel team, the Cosmos? There was no
they
way. Can't because
Same,
you got
some of the same kids.
some of the
Yeah,
same.
some of the same kids.
Yeah,
So.
that would have been an interesting
Yeah.
match, right?
Yeah. So my whole defense was St. Peter's and the travel
Yeah.
team, so they'd be missing.
Yeah.
So, but
Okay,
you know, they both had successful seasons, so
Right.
it went well.
that's good. All right, John. Just so the viewers know, you're also a trainer. You do a lot of training on Staten Island, right? You train a lot of kids on the island for many years, right?
Yep.
And how's that going?
Good. We just finished up. I train all the teams at St. Joseph Hill,
Right.
and we have 17 teams there.
Wow.
And about a week ago, the rec season ended, so
Yeah.
pretty much, we finished our season off. And a few of the teams, just like every other club, a few of the teams won,
Yeah.
came in first place,
Yeah.
come a couple of second places, third places, and
Yeah.
but I think they had a pretty successful season.
I mean, for us, I think at the rec level, as long as they're having fun,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that matters. I know I refereed a game last weekend. Boys, I think it was a U11 team, and they lost the game, and they were actually crying.
Yeah.
Emotional. They got really emotional. So, nothing for them to be down about. But again, if they're having fun at the rec, actually at any level, right? At the
Yeah,
youth.
and you
youth
know what
age.
else it is? It's obviously it's soccer and hopefully getting better at soccer, but it's also creating friendships. Like my
Friendship,
8th grade team, they were together since pre-K,
Right.
so they're together 9-10 years. So
Yeah.
when they played their last game, it was a little emotional.
Yeah, I think
now they're all going off to high school and whatever
Yeah.
they're doing. So
if they're having fun, they'll come back, right?
Yeah.
If they're not, so say they're getting blown out at the rec level, say, because you got some teams that have travel players on that
Yeah.
rec team. So if a team is facing, 6-0 loss every week, it might not be fun.
Right.
We may lose those players.
right,
So as far as that goes, something's got to be done with that. It's been the same story for years, I think, with that. But what could you do?
yeah.
What
I
could you
mean,
do other than
if one
turning
team has
down?
2 travel plays and the other team has 1, usually a team with 2 travel plays is going to end up winning the game.
Or
Or
if
if
they
a
have
team has a
4.
travel play, that kid's going to dominate the game.
Right.
And
Yeah. That's the only part that maybe if somehow, some way we could fix, it'd be good. Maybe limit travel players on these rec teams. Maybe limit them to 2. And just put that player on another club. But then again, it's all comes down to registrations
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then obviously there's some clubs that have about 40 or 50 travel plays spread out throughout their 10
Yeah.
or 12 teams. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
That's the only part. Like I said, you don't want to lose games 6-0 every week.
Yeah.
And that's when you start losing players like
Yeah.
that. So it doesn't become fun anymore. So, all right, you got anything coming up? You got
No, we
something?
have some time off now. I have a camp going on in St. Joseph
Right.
Hill in the summer
Okay.
for a week. But as of now, things are slowing down a little bit, which is good.
We
They
still got a
look for
couple
us.
games,
Yeah.
right? But so you got a camp coming up in July,
Yeah,
How
at
long-
St. Joseph Hill. It's 1 week,
1 week,
the 12th to the 16th.
and it's an all day,
It's 9 to 3.
9 to 3. Great. So, all right, that's a good thing. All right, so I guess we could just jump into the strikers, the famous strikers, right, of the Staten Island Soccer Club. You and I have been with this team since day one, right? I met you actually at that meeting the first day, a couple years back,
Yeah.
right? St. Joseph,
Yep.
I believe it was, St.
Yeah.
Joseph's, right? Look, we're not the most talented at all, right? As far as the talent goes, we know the skill, actually I should say the skill level is not where we want it to be. So it's kind of low. We struggle pretty much every season, right? But I have to say, the team, they still come back.
Yeah.
They come back. They want to play. We made some changes over the years, right? With some players coming and going, but the core of the team is still there. I think this season, regardless of our record, and it's not good. You know what the record is. We're not going to mention it on the air. The players keep fighting, right?
Yep.
They keep fighting. They stick together. There's no drama. We had that in the past, right? There's no drama on the team, and you and I, along with Corinne, we just keep at it. We just keep at it, positive. We stay positive, and we keep training and keep practicing and playing. And yesterday, all right, you and I, first half is about to end, and I think I mentioned to you, I said, John, I don't think I want to say anything to the team. Let's just not say a word. Let them sit there and try and figure things out, right? I mean, I was lost. I was lost for words yesterday. And then, so the half comes up, and then I started saying some things to them, just mentioning some things. Actually, calling out some plays players that are just on the field and really not contributing and helping out, and right. So nothing in a disrespectful way, because I don't believe in yelling at players and cursing and stuff like that. I just don't believe in that because you probably shut them down and won't do anything. So I try, there's a fine line. There's a fine line for that. So anyhow, we did whatever was said at the halftime. Second half comes in, we're down 4-0, and all of a sudden, it happened quick. I think I wouldn't want to say like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right into the second half, we tied the game. The game's tied, and it's just amazing. Once we got it to 4-3, I had a feeling like we were going to tie it up. At least tie. I didn't know if we were going to win, but we tied it up. So, and I'll get your take on it. So, down 4-0. Gabriella scores 4 goals, ties the game. Stephanie comes in. She finally, and I expect a lot out of Stephanie every week. You know that I mention it to you all the time. She has to give us a lot more, and she finally gets a goal for us, and ends up being the game winner. And then we had about 8-9 minutes left to go to defend that, and we kind of dropped Gabriella back and try to defend that and just hold on for the victory. So what's your take on yesterday? I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. I don't know about you,
Well,
so
I thought even at 4-0, if you looked at the first half, we had a few chances. Like, we were getting through and just not finishing. Gabrielle, I think Stephanie had 1 or 2 chances in the first half with a breakaway or two, and it didn't happen. But I felt like we can get through their defense, and there was openings, and we sent some balls through, and they were running onto it, and obviously we didn't score a goal. So even in the first half, we had a few chances, or I felt like we would create more chances. Then at 4-0, it was 4-0, and the game was over, and that was my take. The game was over, and then we made it 4-1. I'm like, all right, at least it's going to be somewhat respectable. And then Gab scored again and made it 4-2, and I'm like, all right, at least we kept the game close. Then, like you said, when we made it 4-3, I felt like there's a chance we could tie it. And then it seemed like either what happens is obviously when you get momentum, sometimes it steamrolls, and the other team all of a sudden lost all their momentum and couldn't do anything, because they had those 2 players that were creating 9 and 99 that were creating a lot of chances and doing a lot, and then I don't know, at the end of the game, just seemed like they either got tired or had nothing left, and we just kept going at them, and then once we had that momentum, in about a 15, 17-minute span, we scored all 5 goals. And then, like you said, the last 7 or 8 minutes, we just had to make sure we held on. And,
we had to defend,
But even when we defended at the end, we were winning balls. And like we talk about all the time, it's about, obviously skill and making passes and doing all the right things, but you have to win balls in a game. And that's a problem a lot of times for us. But then that whole second half, we were just winning every ball and pressuring them and creating chances, and that's all it takes is, winning the 50-50s, getting the ball down to, Gab up top, Steph made a lot of good runs, even in the first half, and creating chances.
It is worth mentioning, John, we were missing 4 players due to injury or just not being able to make the game yesterday, so we didn't have any subs either.
Yeah,
we had no
and it
subs.
was a very hot day.
It was a hot, humid day, and
that's why we played the 4 20-minute quarters, and
that kind of helped out. Again, I don't know. I'm not saying it was this halftime speech, whatever people want to say. That speech turns things around. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But we got a little bit of help from Marie. Okay, she even if she killed 8 seconds, by doing something, getting in front of a ball or something. We got some help from her. Abby did a great job. Abby didn't want to go.
She struggled in the first half, and then once she was in there for a while, got used to it a little bit. The second half, she had a great second half.
Right, and I thought she, again, she didn't want to play keeper. She didn't want to be in there. So you got to give her some credit.
She did it.
She did it. She got more comfortable, like you mentioned, as the game went on. And Laura, she's all over the place. She's always, without her at this team. I mean, I don't know if we get even a point. So, unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything, a 4-0 comeback. Have you ever been part of anything like that with all your teams? Like down 4-0 and come back? What is the other team going to?
2 or 3, but yeah, I don't know. I think they just, were overconfident. It was 4-0. I think he felt the game was over. Right. And even at 4-1 or 4-2, I felt like he thought the game was over. And then, like I said, the momentum, and then he couldn't do anything about it. When he got to 4-3, he couldn't really do anything about it. He switched goalies again, and
Now,
but he couldn't
yeah, but he switched goalies after the 5th goal, right?
after the
We didn't score.
fourth, maybe.
Did we score on the new key on that?
Actually,
key?
you're right. I think it might have been. We
Right.
might have scored off.
She was standing on the sideline,
ready to go in, but he
Right.
couldn't get her in.
right? Couldn't get her in because we
Yeah.
had the ball in play. So
But she must be a pretty good field player because he kept putting her up top. He did that the last time we played
Right.
too.
right,
And then late in the game when they were down 5-4, she was playing high,
She was playing
so
high.
she could she was playing up at midfield at that point, trying to send
Yeah.
balls over the top. So
yeah. I mean, that keeper that was in there that gave up the 5 goals, but I feel for her in a way. But again, our team struggled for for the longest time, so I really don't feel in that aspect. But as far as giving up the 5 goals, I hope.
well, some of the goals we scored though, were good shots.
Yeah,
too,
no,
so,
no, she
you know,
wasn't stopping
I think
them,
maybe one of them.
Yeah.
If
I don't even think she was a keeper
Yeah,
anyway, right?
right.
They just stuck somebody in there.
Yeah.
But I just hope that their coach spoke to her and just give her some confidence again. Not to blame her on everything because the ball did go through everybody else.
Yeah.
So, that's what I would have
Yep.
done. So I mean that's a devastating loss. It has to be.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it.
yeah,
If that would have
I mean,
happened,
it's a great win for us, but terrible when you have a 4-0 lead and,
Yeah.
and you blow it.
you can't blow a 4-0
No.
lead. You can't, just unheard of. So, all right. Well, that.
See, now if I'm the coach of that team, when it got to 4-1 or maybe even 4-2, I would have started making adjustments right away because all of a sudden you have a game under control and it's getting a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
You have to
Drop.
switch your goalie right away and do whatever you have to do to
Make some changes.
keep the game, keep the lead. But
I think if we had like a 2-3-0 lead, Gabriella's coming back and we're dropping everybody
and then
back.
once you see, even if the other team doesn't score a goal, but you see them starting to create more chances and get
Yeah.
more shots, then you have to start making adjustments there.
Right.
You don't
Right.
wait until all of a sudden it's snowballing on you.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I don't even think that those guys are even soccer
Well,
coaches. That's another
Yeah,
thing.
that's a whole other show.
Right, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
You can hear it from their terminology and all that. Obviously, been doing this a long time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can tell that they're just dads that really never played the game. And
Just,
just
Just putting players on
sometimes
the field.
they just get lucky. They have enough kids
Right.
that know how to play.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know.
thing, and that's the case with a lot of the teams that we play against. They're just putting players in. They
Yeah.
don't know nothing about the game. All right, so that being said, now you're part of the staff here, so I'm going to put you on the hot seat a little bit. Now you come back, you win this game, right? You're feeling good. The team is all happy and all that. You got a game this Friday coming up. What do you expect, from the team? Do you have to win this next game? I mean, it's
Well-
a beatable team. It's a winnable game.
I feel like hopefully the girls are really happy that they won the other day, and hopefully they have confidence from winning the other day.
Right.
And I think that could snowball and continue into the next 2 games that we play.
Right.
When you're losing every game, whatever.
Right.
4
We
or
haven't
5
had
nothing,
success.
whatever
Right.
it is. Then once team scores a goal, and you're like, oh, here we go again.
Right.
But once you start winning or once you start being successful, the opposite happens. You have confidence in yourself, and
Right.
you're having more fun, and hopefully that'll continue for the last 2 games because you know what, that's a good way to end the season.
Yeah, right.
You know,
After having a terrible start. So, we've lost a couple of games. I believe 6-0, maybe 3. Okay, don't forget there's one team in our group that went 10-0, beat everybody, and they beat them pretty good. All right, so that's 2 losses right there. All right, I'm not sure if we scored a goal on that team, but that's the Freehold team. I'm not sure if we scored a goal or not, but anyhow. So you put them off to the side. Then we got this Jackson. Jackson's got 2 teams. I got an A team, I guess, and a B team, right? That A team, in my mind, again, if we play the game, just play the game. And we spoke about this. Skill is one thing, but you got to give some effort, right? Mm-hmm. You have to give me something. Get in front of a play, foul a play, do something, block them. If we could do that against Jackson's other team that we're playing on Sunday, we could get a result. We could get something out of it.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a win on Friday because we should have beat Middletown last time we played them, right? We stopped playing in that game. So I'm expecting a win Friday, and on Sunday we could get a result,
No, that would be great because that would actually move up in the standings a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll go into probably fourth place.
Fourth place.
We'll take care of fourth place if we could get 4 points, we'll be in fourth place. So, is it going to happen? Who knows? Who knows with this team? We don't know.
Well, hopefully we get some of our players back that hurt, and maybe get 1 or 2 other players from
Right.
the other team, and,
Yeah.
and we'll have enough subs and.
It's amazing. Again, the comeback alone is amazing, and then no subs. So we had no.
And it was 90
And with the
degrees.
heat, so you put all that into effect. It's just amazing all around.
Yeah,
And
because the girls really worked hard. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously with it being that hot, coming to the sideline and having to put
Yeah.
water on their heads, and
Yeah.
people don't realize the turf is so much hotter than it
Yeah.
is.
Right.
Once you step
Yeah.
off of it, it's
Yeah.
probably about a 5-7 degree difference.
Right.
And what other people don't realize also is how hot it is on your feet.
Right.
Your feet are burning on that
When you're
turf.
running, right.
It's not like being on grass.
Yeah.
So
Well, Gabriella couldn't get off the field. I mean, she was so out of it, and she just dropped right down. And thankfully, she's okay. But I think she went in and scored another goal after that. I think I'm not sure, but yeah, because
she did come off it.
she came
She
off
came off when we maybe 4-3.
right after the
Yeah.
goal, right,
Yeah.
and then she came. But John, I'm thinking I'm playing Monday morning quarterback. And if we would have kept playing the way we were playing, do you think we would have scored more? What do you think? I was just trying to. Once we took the lead, I wanted to protect it.
Yeah, but that's fine because Laura was under a lot of pressure back there, and those 2 girls were
Right.
were still
Ashley.
dangerous.
Ashley.
Well, the 2 girls on the other team were still dangerous.
Right, right.
Yeah. So no, we needed to do that because at that point,
So
we're up-
no
we're up
doubt in your
5-4.
mind.
No, up 5-4, then you move players back and just make sure.
Right.
And the good thing is they really didn't get much of a chance those last 9 minutes. They got the ball down the field a couple times, but we broke up the play
Right.
up around the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
I don't remember really taking a shot. So
Yeah.
we closed things down in that third of the field,
Right.
and
All right.
and we did a good job of getting the ball into the corners the last few minutes and creating throw-ins and killing the clock off.
Yeah,
So
that was great. Yeah, it was.
And again, it was back to the last 9 minutes. We won a lot of 50-50 balls and just got them down the field, so they didn't create too many scoring chances.
Amazingly with the with the heat and all that. All right. Again, that's my prediction for we got a game Friday night in Middletown, and then back to Jackson to play the A team.
Yeah.
We'll call them the A team, and I'm looking for 4 points either way. I don't care how we get them.
Well, I'm always looking for that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get 4 points
Yeah.
and move up the the standings. Hopefully we can come in fourth. That'll be great.
Listen, let's go down the list real quick. With the strikers. I'm sure. I mean, I put it on the group chat. They may be watching tonight. So, Gianna, right? Kaylee, Dakota, Darissa, Jessica, Gabriella, Stephanie. Go ahead, Marie. You're bad with the names.
Yeah,
I got
no.
you.
I'm trying to remember who you forgot.
Yeah. Who else?
Laura, did you say Laura?
Laura, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Ryan, did you say Ryan?
Ryan. Anybody else?
Or you could say Ashley. Ashley had a big game for
Ashley
us.
helped
Yeah.
us out tremendously. All right. You got Abby, of course.
Yeah.
Who else is up top? Darissa is not coming this weekend, so she's out again. So graduation, that's another thing that hurts. Right, for the seniors, right, the graduation and all that. But shout out to all the strikers. All right, and let's keep it going. Finish strong, and that's it. I guess on the strikers, right? We're good.
Yeah.
Covered everything. Actually, we went into before we close off on it. We went into what we said. We were telling them 0-0, right?
Yeah. We wanted to just win the second half.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I was trying to win the second half, regardless.
No,
of
we
what
definitely won the
Oh,
second
we
half.
wanted-
We wanted 5-1 the second half.
They scored a goal. No.
Yeah, because it was 3-0 at the halftime, but then in the third
All right.
quarter they scored. It was 4-0.
Right. That
Then
extra
after
quarter.
that we
right.
scored. Yeah.
All right. So 5-1.
Yeah.
So they won it big time. So
Yeah.
that's good. All right, John. So we'll move on from the strikers. Be there early on Friday night. There's gonna be some traffic, right?
Yeah. Friday night is
on the
always
Parkway.
traffic. Yeah.
All right, we got some professional soccer to talk about. we got the Euros going on. I guess we could start with Italy.
Yeah.
You could take that away, John. I mean, you've been watching more games than I have with the Italian
Well,
team.
Italy obviously has dominated their division, beating Turkey and Switzerland 3-0 in each game. And yesterday I didn't see the game because we were playing at the same time, but they beat Wales 1-0. So they finished with 9 points. Didn't give up a goal. They haven't given up a goal now in
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I forget how many minutes it is.
This is crazy.
So, which is great, But the good thing about Italy right now is that they are going forward. They are pushing the ball forward. It's not like where they score a goal and sit back the rest of the game, or just play and just counterattack. The games that I've been watching, they're actually attacking. They're getting wide, playing the balls through, and they're getting behind the defense. They have some speed up top, and they're playing really well right now.
Not used to seeing that.
Obviously, they're in, the division they're in with Switzerland and Turkey and Wales is not like, the best group,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. You just have to win your games that are there.
Right.
So now they're going to be playing Austria, so which is definitely another winnable game. So
That's
on
the
Saturday.
reward you get for finishing on top. You get it.
So they win that game, they'll be in the last 8, which is
pretty good for them.
which is good. But they are playing really well right now,
Right.
and you have to say they're one of the favorites.
When was the last time? I've heard some people say like since '82. Was the '82 team?
Was when we won the World Cup.
Right. Was that the same? Did they play the same style? Like
82 is the last time. Well, obviously it's a long time ago, but 82 they played same kind of style where they, that team attacked. With Paolo Rossi up top and Altobelli and Tardelli, and Bruno Conti on the outside. Bruno Conti was up and down the left wing the whole game. Obviously that's my favorite team of all time, but that team attacked. They started off slow in the first round.
Right.
They tied Poland, Peru, and Cameroon, and only scored 2 goals in 3 games, and barely got into the next round. And then as soon as they got into the next round, they really started to play. Great game against Argentina and Brazil. But anyway, they're definitely, the way they're playing, they're definitely one of the favorites. To be hopefully in the final.
Well, they're talking about Belgium, right? Obviously they're ranked number 1. Again, it to me means nothing.
Well, Belgium won today 2-0, so they won their group with 9 points. And I believe Denmark moved on also. In that group.
Right. Yeah, the bottom 2 are out.
Yeah. So Belgium obviously it was one of the favorites going in,
Right.
and they have a great starting lineup.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit, they have a little more star power than Italy does, I think.
Yeah.
But as far as Italy and Belgium, the question with Belgium is their back line. They're all like 35 years old. So when you're playing in a tournament, you're playing 4 or 5 games in 15 days, whatever.
Yeah.
That could. But Italy's got the same issue with Chiellini and
Chiellini and what's his partner
Bonucci.
there? Bonucci.
They're 71 years old between the two of them.
Did he play Chiellini because he went off hurt? I don't think he played the last game.
Yesterday, but
So you have experience with Belgium, and you got the youth with Italy.
yeah.
So
Yep.
something's got to give there. And, we've had experienced players in the past with the Italian team, and it really didn't give us World Cups, stuff like that. In 2018, they didn't even make the World Cup.
I know.
So,
But I feel confident right now that they're going to go deep into the tournament.
so do you think the youth of Italy would hurt them at some point in the knockout round because of their inexperience? What do you think about that?
I think they have a nice mix of youth and experience on the team. So hopefully the experienced guys are there to help the younger guys and guide them through the tournament.
Right.
And also when you have younger guys on the team that when you're playing 4 or 5 games in a short span of time, if you have an older team and you're playing a lot of games in a shorter span of time, eventually they probably start breaking down.
Right.
A little bit,
It's gonna be harder.
So
Right.
I think they have a nice mix.
Yeah.
So I think I feel very confident they're going to do well.
Okay.
The next group is Holland and Austria and Ukraine.
Right.
Holland obviously is the best team in that group,
Yeah.
and they're 3-0, so they're doing well. The next group with Czech Republic, England, Croatia, and Scotland. I'm a little surprised with Croatia. I expect them to do better, but they do have a loss and a draw. But obviously, if they win their last game, they'll move
Yeah.
on.
England, I mean, what's with England?
England never does well
yeah.
in any tournaments.
What's going on with their national team? They have good players in their league, right?
Yeah.
Right, and they just can't get it together with their national team for whatever reason.
I mean, obviously, the Premiership is the top league in the world.
It's probably one
but
of the top. Yeah.
what we've talked about in the past is it's the top league in the world, but you're bringing in people from every country to play there, and you have
That's it.
expensive teams with all these foreign players, and maybe it's hurting the English players.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Could be.
you know what? That's been going on for years. I mean, they haven't gone deep in a tournament in a very long time.
No, they haven't.
So, and like I said, Croatia's probably, hopefully, gonna pull out their last game.
Yeah.
And move on. So that division's still up in the air.
Yeah, I think they play tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So the next group, John, what's going on with that pitch? I just circled a country. What is going on with that?
Spain brought a very young team to the tournament.
Okay.
And the question always was, did he bring a team that's too young without enough experience?
Right.
And it looks like that could be the issue right now.
Well, they still have a chance, right?
Yeah, they do.
What do
They
they
have 2 ties.
2 ties, 2
Yeah.
points. So
They
yeah.
tied Sweden and they tied Poland. If they win their last game, they'll get to 5 points. They'll move on.
They need a result.
But that whole division's up in the air. It's possible they don't even they don't make it.
And the next, right? Well, that'll be tough on the Spaniards. But the next group, John, I think is the group of death. Right? They like to call the group of death.
Very surprised that all 3 of those teams ended up in the same division.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know, because Italy, like I said, doesn't really have any powerhouse in their division, and France, Germany, Portugal, and even Hungary can play people tough.
Right.
They're obviously not they're the weakest team in that group, but
and they're still alive.
They're
right?
still alive,
At 1
yeah.
point.
the
So who comes out of that group?
Germany was in big trouble the other day.
Yeah.
Because they had lost their first game, and then they were losing to Portugal 1-0.
Ronaldo scored.
Yeah, and they were in
Yeah.
big trouble. They were literally going out of the tournament
Yeah.
that day, and then
Right.
they turned it around and won the game, 4-2,
Yeah.
and that pulled them out. But I still feel like Germany's got some issues.
4-2. I didn't see the game, but I heard 2 own goals.
Yeah.
Right.
First time in history.
So Portugal scored 4 goals and lost the game.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Can't always rely on Ronaldo, although we have a Ronaldo on our team, on the strikers. But and yeah, I actually compared, not to change the subject, but we spoke before. I compared Gabriella to Giorgio Chiellini, same number and a scoring machine. So
Yeah,
all right,
that's what number I wore all my life too.
number 9, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that's a tough group.
That division can go any way. Obviously, France, I think, is the favorite.
France
is the favorite not only in the division, but they won one of the favorites in the tournament. And they beat Germany and they were on their way, and then they tied Hungary the other day.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they actually were losing 1-0.
Yeah.
And I think about the 65th minute they tied it. So
Well, I want to see France and Portugal
now
get
Dembele just went home
okay.
with an injury,
Hurt.
so he's out of the tournament. But they have a lot of star power on the team, so they'll still be
Defending
one of the
World
favorites.
Cup champs.
Yeah.
France, right?
Yeah.
France. Okay. And European is Portugal.
Yeah. Portugal won 4
think
years ago.
right. I think Portugal is
It's
going to
actually
find
5 years ago now because
Yeah,
this
because-
tournament was supposed
right,
to be
that's
last
why I
year,
couldn't
so it's
remember.
5 years ago. So
I'm thinking France and Portugal get out of that group. I want to see Ronaldo continue playing again. He's just fun to watch.
well,
And
that group could end up with 3 teams coming out of it.
Right. That's right. The other
Yeah,
right.
There's a
that-
wild card.
That extra team, right?
Because
exactly.
they have to get to 16 teams for the next
Yeah,
group, so
right.
it's very possible that all 3 teams,
Yeah.
that 3 teams are coming out of there.
Yeah, I just want to see Ronaldo play a little bit more.
Yeah, and plus you want to see him. You don't want to see him go out in the first round. He's one of the star
Yeah,
players,
right.
so you want to see him continue on because
Exactly.
it helps
Yeah.
the tournament.
All right, so we got Vito on the Facebook side here. Vito is watching us on Facebook Live and saying that Italy, he just mentioned Italy on a 30-game
Yep.
unbeaten streak. All right,
I don't know how many minutes it's been since they've given
Since
up a
they
goal.
give
It's something like
Now,
900.
that's a great stat, right? Not giving up a goal in so many minutes, whatever it may be. But have they been tested? Have they played, top-notch countries that are going to test the defense and the keeper? I'm not sold yet on the keeper, but on Donnarumma,
Yeah.
I'm not really sold on him 100% yet because I watch him a lot with Milan, and I see a lot of mistakes he makes, So I'm curious to see when they play, a Belgium,
Right.
or a France,
That's when they're gonna get tested.
a Germany, and the top teams, top country.
Well, it's
So-
not only him, but like I started to say before, like when we have to play a France or a France or a Belgium, maybe in the final
Yeah.
or semifinal, whatever it is,
Right.
they'll start putting more pressure on a back
On
four,
the back four.
and see how we
Yeah.
react to that. So
Right, that's the first test, and I guess we're spoiled with Buffon. That man has done, has made some incredible saves, right? And the classy guy that he is, right? I guess we're spoiled with that, and I'm used to seeing him in the goal. So, and this guy just has to show me at least that he's got to make a great save, a ridiculous save, to like kind of win me over. He hasn't done that yet.
well, you know what else it is about goalies? If you haven't noticed, it's the older they get, the better they get.
Right, and he's
Once they're in their 30s and late 30s, they seem to be better than they were when they were in their 20s.
It's
Even
like
though
wine.
they're younger and more agile, it seems like as they get more experience, they know how to play the position
Right.
better.
Yeah.
Look at Dino Zoff and
Yeah.
all the other keepers that
like
are old.
fine wine,
Yeah,
just like wine. I get it, and he's only 22.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's so young, so
He started, I
he's-
think, when he was 16
Yeah,
with the national team. But no, listen.
but it's been a great tournament so far. I mean, there's been some really good games.
And we got some fans back,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Hungary the
another
other
great-
day was packed.
Yeah.
That game was
Where was that game?
in
It-
Budapest.
Okay.
Yeah, that game was packed. There's been a couple other games that have been pretty full, and then there's been
Yeah.
some games that had about 13 to 14,000 people. But every country has their own rules.
Vito's
so.
saying if Italy doesn't win, they'll never win. Vito, I don't know. We never discussed that they were going to win the tournament. We were happy if they got to the final,
Yeah.
because they're actually rebuilding again and coming back after not making the World Cup. I don't know if you want to win. I don't know if they're going to win it.
Well,
And
that's our mentality anyway, right? Because we're playing well so far, so we
Right.
sit there going, "Why not us?"
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and again, you never know. In a one game against a Belgium or a France, why shouldn't we win it?
Right. Kind of like yesterday, right? We're down 4-0, and all of a sudden it's 4-4. Why not win it, right? So now Italy's on a roll.
Well, like I said, it depends on who you match up with. So we're playing Austria in the next game. That there's no
But
reason
you know
we
what?
shouldn't win that game. That gets
Yeah.
us down to 8.
But John,
And then hopefully the game after that is a team that we're capable of beating also.
So here's another question for you, and I like to pick your soccer mind. Do you want to play the best in the world, or do you want to hide from them? You want to run away from a Belgium and not face them? I want to face Belgium. I want to play Spain, Belgium, France. That's who I want to face.
Well,
And I want to knock all three of them off. That's just my thinking. I want to play the best in the world. This way I could say, we beat the best. We beat France. We beat Spain.
well, eventually you're going to have to beat two very quality teams in
Right.
the semifinal and the final.
Right.
But if you could play, some weaker teams before that, so that you don't have to go through 3 or 4
Well,
or
you
5
just did.
strong teams in a row.
You just played 3 weak teams, right?
Yeah.
So you got that under your belt. Now let's, and let's not underestimate, Austria here. Let's make sure we take care of business, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I think I want to play these guys. I want to play them.
Yeah. I
know?
mean, obviously it's a great game to watch. So
Yeah. Even France. I think they beat us in the Euros. Back in 2008 or something like that. They beat us
Yeah.
in overtime. I believe it was at that time. It was like the golden goal. All right, Italy has Germany in its history. Okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's fine, but I still want to play them. If not them, at least France.
Germany's got to get there first.
Right. They got to right, exactly. They got to get in, exactly. But all right, we got about
2000, Italy beat France.
in 2000. Okay, that's 21 years ago, right? Seems so long.
I know.
But how long has it been since Italy's won the Euro?
We only won it once, but I don't remember what year it is.
Yeah, it's probably a while back. All right, any last words on this? We got about 15 minutes to go. We got some other things we want to touch on. You know,
I think it's been great. You know, it's obviously European Cup is like a mini World Cup, and,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I look forward every day to coming home now that there's
68.
less time
Right.
for
Yeah.
less coaching to do. That I can come home and watch some games. So I look forward. It doesn't matter who's playing.
Well, 53 years ago, Italy won the Euros.
68.
53, right? Yeah, it was 69, so
Yeah.
that's easy math right
Yeah.
there. That's
We
easy.
weren't born yet.
Right. So, I mean, that's you know what, 53 years, that's a long time
Yeah, I
for an
know.
Italian team, which, you know, they live and breathe, you know,
Yeah.
soccer, you know. The World Cup, you know, we won one recently, not too long, you know, so we got that under our belts, and we're working on another one
Yeah.
with this team,
Yeah.
you know. So, before the tournament, John, I just said Italy, just get to the final and play a good game in the final. I never said, you know,
The
win.
finals in Wembley. I don't know if
Right.
you knew that.
Yeah,
or not,
yeah.
But,
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, just get there, and like you said, why not us, right?
Yep.
But get there. Don't lose, you know, don't lose the next game. Don't lose Saturday, because if
No.
you lose Saturday, what happens on the airplane
if
back?
they if they lose Saturday, or even if they lose the game after that, it won't be a successful tournament. At
No,
all,
it'll be a
you know?
disgrace. Yeah.
Not that we want to lose it all, but you know, you feel like once you
Yeah.
get to the semifinal, you have
Right.
a good chance. So,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because I remember lots, you know, bad Italian teams coming back home and getting tomatoes thrown
Yeah.
at them and stuff like that. We don't want to waste those great tomatoes in Italy, you know. All right, so Italy's not losing. Well, Vito, listen. That's why we play the games, okay? They have to be careful, and I'm sure they are. They're well coached, you know.
They're winning 2-0.
Yeah. All right, but
Sure.
we've seen some major upsets, you know, in the past. So let's just keep the train going, keep it rolling, keep the ball rolling. All right, enough with the Euros. We got about 13 minutes to go. The United States women's team, getting ready for the Olympics in Tokyo.
Yeah.
In Tokyo. All right, they got 2 more games they're playing, I believe, right around July 1st or 2nd, right around the 4th of July. They got 2 games in Mexico. It's kind of like a send-off series, send-off games, right? What do you think with that team? I mean,
I watched them play Jamaica about a week ago, and obviously, you know, they
Yeah.
dominated that game. They won
Yeah.
4-0, I believe. And
Right.
they're moving the ball around well, and you know, obviously, they still have the best team in the world. So they
defending champs.
So they favorite. They're favorite again, and they obviously should do. You know,
New
they
Zealand.
should be right in the final again.
Well, first game is Sweden. That's a rivalry, I believe.
Yeah,
They-
Sweden's
Sweden is their rival. It's a tough matchup,
Yeah.
right
20
off the
years
bat.
ago, we were always battling with them, and I think the old coach
Right.
was
Is
from
coaching
Sweden,
Sweden now. So they know us, he or she knows us very well, right? So they'll be prepared. And, you know, a lot of countries have caught up to the U.S., but we're still, in my mind, my opinion, the best in the world as far as the women's side goes. Notable players, John?
You know what's happening? Years ago, soccer in the U.S. was women, you know,
Yeah.
dominating. Now other countries are seeing that it makes money,
Right.
you know, and they're starting to catch
Yeah.
up. They saw how the World Cup's been successful,
Right.
so now all these European countries, Italy's invested a lot of money into their
Yeah.
soccer program, and look at the Premiership now. Manchester City, Manchester United
Yeah.
all have women's
Yeah.
teams,
Yeah.
and some of the American players, girls, are going in and playing. Now.
Right, that is.
You know, they're leaving the U.S. league and going
To
there.
go there, yeah. Well, it's about the money, too.
Yeah.
All right, so notable players, right? It's easy to say Morgan and Rampone, you know. It's easy to call them out. But I look at Kristen Press, and I guess I've been watching her game for the past maybe couple of years. And she's kind of like the player that got pushed behind because of all those 2 players I just mentioned, right? So she's a striker. And the last couple of games, Jamaica, I think they played Nigeria, and some other country they played. She played in all 3 games. She was the only starting player for all 3, right? She scored a couple goals. She assists on goals. I mean, for me, if she's playing well and she's scoring, can't always depend on, like, if Morgan has a bad game or a bad day, she's not playing. And she's always getting banged around, too.
Yeah.
She's always getting hurt. And same thing with Rampone. Pony, I call her Pony. You know, I think a lot's going to go on what Press does. you know, how she plays. You know, she doesn't have to score, but as long as she's, you know, giving the ball and you know, making good plays, the U.S. team should win the gold medal. I mean, there's no reason for them not to be.
Carly Lloyd, who's been a great player for the last 12 to 15 years, was kept on the bench in the last World Cup because of Kristen Press. She, you know, Carly Lloyd was upset she wasn't getting a lot of playing time, but it's because Kristen Press was playing so well in the last World Cup.
Well, there's a different coach, right? Now,
so
our coach now, I think, is a fan of Lloyd's.
Yeah, so she played a lot in those three games too. So
yeah, I don't know if they announced the team yet. I think they're gonna do it right after those 2 games with Mexico. So, and she's still, I mean, there's no announcement yet as far as the team going to the Olympics. So, but yeah, I expect to see Lloyd there.
Well, the good thing is there's so many more players in the pool now.
Yeah.
That it makes the decisions tougher than it was 10, 12 years
and
ago.
And that's great. It's great for the women's game. That's great. You know, you want those tough decisions. You know, you don't want to make it, you know, you don't want easy. And Morgan, I don't know if you agree with me, I think she's on the downhill. She's going down. You know, there's no more peak for her, right? She had her peak, right? Would you agree with that?
The last World Cup, you know, obviously she's a famous player and a great player.
Yeah.
But the last World Cup, they kept saying how she was playing so well.
Right.
And I felt like she wasn't playing as well as she had before that. She was losing a lot of balls in the midfield and, you know, missing simple chances. You know, but there's peaks and valleys, so she is getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
You know, she just had a baby.
Right.
So maybe it's, you know.
Well, she's been back.
Yeah.
Now she's also playing with her, you know, her club team in Orlando.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
But
time.
she'll definitely be on that roster.
Oh no, she'll be on that, but it's time to start saying, "Hey, look, who's going to be next?" I mean, even Press is up there. I think she's, if not early 30s. So even with her, you know, who's next? Who's in line? You know.
But a lot of these other countries would love to get a Carly Lloyd or
absolutely.
Alice Morgan off the bench to come in late in the game.
And if
So
Lloyd,
that's how deep the roster
right,
is.
I expect Lloyd to be on the roster, but not a starter.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to start. But this coach loves her, so you know, he brought her right back. You know, right after he got the job. So I guess it's safe to say, right? Gold medal, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't expect anything less from them. It would be a disappointment if they got to the final and you know, didn't win it.
Or not even get there.
That's just the level that they've created for themselves.
Right.
So you know,
which is great.
every Olympics, every World Cup, it's what you're expecting from them.
And can you imagine that? What's it? 3 World Cups for them? They got 3, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's 3, and it started
91, 99. The last one is 3.
18. Was it 18 or 18? I think they got one in 18. So, and it all started back in '99, right? With Mia Hamm.
Well, 91 was the first one.
91 was the first one, and then Mia Hamm. That right?
And then 99 was the one that was here in the United States,
Right,
which
against-
created the
against
you
China.
know, which made it become
It just
huge.
blew them up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And 91 and 95, you watched it on TV, it was okay.
Right.
But when 99 came and it was in the United States, big crowds, and
Right.
you know, that's where they won it, and everybody kind of knew their names.
Yeah.
You know,
That's great. It's great for the game. It's great for the women's side. Overall, I think it's just great for the game of soccer. Doesn't matter if it's men's or women. It's just great for soccer, you know. All right, John. We got a few more minutes here, about 6, I would say. All right, Copa America. What's going on? I haven't watched any of these games yet.
I've caught about 4 or 5 games.
The Copa.
Yeah, and obviously, it'd be crazy if it wasn't Argentina and Brazil in the final.
Right.
You know, Chile and Uruguay obviously can always give them, you know, a good game, but I don't expect anybody else.
What about Colombia? They got that guy James. What's his name?
Yeah.
James, right?
Yeah, James
Yeah.
Hernandez, whatever his name is. But you know, they got 4 points. They're doing all right, but you know, Brazil, 3rd place is Peru, and Brazil beat Peru like 4-0 the other day. So Venezuela and Ecuador are not going to give them any kind of game.
Right.
So, and like I said, I feel like here Argentina's got a stronger group with Chile and Uruguay and even Paraguay. Paraguay is not a bad team either.
No.
So I feel like those 4 teams are all pretty strong, and Brazil really doesn't have much competition in their division.
So what happened to the U.S. in this? Are they not part
No,
of this?
they're not part
They're
of
not
this.
part of this
No.
at all. They'd probably be in last place anyway.
This is just South American countries.
All right, so Argentina, Brazil, if they don't meet in the final, I don't think anyone's gonna watch it, right? That's just my opinion. The ratings and
Yeah.
who's gonna care about that? Brazil, Neymar, right? He's their best player,
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Yep.
And I think he's second now to Pele in goals for his country.
Yeah.
I don't know what Pele has.
I hope he never breaks it.
Is it 700 for Pele? Cause
Well, overall, he had over 1,000 goals.
is it all right?
Yeah.
So he's second.
Overall, with club, country, and
Right,
everything, he
right.
had over 1,000 goals.
All right, but I heard that about a week ago that he's now second to Pele, I guess for Brazil in goals. Neymar.
And Messi, obviously he never plays as well with Argentina than he does with Barcelona. But the couple of games I saw, he was playing pretty well. He was controlling the game.
Right.
He scored on a free kick the other day from about 20
Nice.
yards out into the upper corner.
Great.
But it should be Argentina Brazil in the final.
Yeah.
So
And I'll definitely watch that. That's for sure.
yeah, like I said, I've caught a couple of games because the European Cup is in the afternoon,
Right.
and these games, I guess, because of time, they've been on at like 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
So I've caught a few.
Messi, I mean, Messi, Ronaldo. They're both standing there, and you're picking. Who you taking?
I take Ronaldo.
Take Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just
Because
like
he-
him better.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
Yeah.
I'm probably picking Ronaldo too. All right, so let's finish up here. We got another 3 to go around there. MLS, which I call the Mickey Mouse League,
Yeah.
and you know what? It is what it is, John. It's a Mickey Mouse league. It's a league where you and I both want the Cosmos to be part of, right? For whatever reason, they're not. So there's really no top-notch superstar player in the league, I don't think.
No.
Higuain in Miami.
Look at the two. Yeah, Miami's probably got the more star power of any team in the league
Right.
with
Yeah, I
Higuain
would-
and they got a couple of guys from England, and they got Matuidi
Yeah.
from played for Juventus.
Right.
That's played for France. But even there, I don't think they're doing that off to a slow start. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Miami into Miami.
Two wins, two ties, and 5
Yeah.
losses.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure Beckham's not. Well, although Beckham right now, his attention is probably with England, and not with his club team.
but the two New York teams, they don't really have any star power, so it's
Well,
kind of bland.
There's, right. So look,
The Red
Hey-
Bulls are 4-4.
Pele in 1977. All right, we'll just go back to that New York Cosmos, and this is proof. You bring the star player here, right? As you know, 1977, 65,000 fans at Giant Stadium, right here, not that far from us, right? 65,000 soccer fans to see the Cosmos on Father's Day, and he scored a hat trick, right? We
Yeah.
talked about that yesterday. But the point is, you bring the star players, the fans will go out.
Yeah.
Right? And no matter
And
what
then it
team.
snowballed after that the following year when they,
Yeah.
obviously with Beckenbauer and
Yeah,
Keane
right.
and
They all
that,
started
so-
coming over, right?
And the stadium was packed every week.
77,000, 80,000.
The
right?
Red Bulls get maybe 6,000 or 7,000 people a game.
Well, I could tell you because I'm at the game Wednesday night, and I'll let you know what shows up there now.
Yeah.
But I mean, no one's coming out to see these teams because there's no quality. So, and that's the problem with this league right now. They want to
And-
grow.
The other problem with the league is, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is that they try to have every team be about the same. So if you look at the standings, everybody's 4-4-2
Yeah.
all the way down,
Right.
because they try to make it, every team is
You-
kind of equal. So there's
yeah.
no one team that stands out, or 2 or 3 teams that stand out. Everybody's got the same record. A team wins 1-0, plays the same team the following week. The other team wins 1-0.
Yeah. No, I mean,
so
there's a cap also, right?
Yes.
They have a cap, and that's a
Yeah.
problem. In Europe, there's no cap.
no.
There's no cap, so owners could do what they
And
want.
that's the problem with this league compared to the old NESL. They didn't want to do what the old NESL did and just pay players
Right,
and
right.
and bring superstars over. So they have a salary cap, and they don't, they don't want to spend the money.
Right.
So.
All right, John. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I sometimes watch these games just because I want to watch soccer. I know it's not, what I'm used to, like watching Serie A. I watch a lot of Juventus Milan games, I would watch Body even though they're in the third division, but I can't get them on TV. So, even though they're in Serie A, I would still watch them.
Yeah.
But when you're a soccer, when you love the game, you watch the MLS. When you love it, when you just love the game, And I wish New York.
Sometimes it's hard to watch.
It is. No, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
But New York City, at least we had a player to watch, which was Pirlo, right?
Yeah.
And the Red Bulls, when they were the Metro Stars, they had a couple of
Yeah.
good players way back when they
Yeah.
played at Giant Stadium. All right, John, thanks for coming on.
Oh,
Appreciate it. It
thank
was
you.
a great show, and I hope we, gave the fans some knowledge. And until next time, we'll see you guys in about a month. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.